And in studio, I got to be honest, I don't think there's no hyperbole. We're joined by an absolute legend, an icon. Kerri Strug is with us, an Olympic hero from '96, and you look different. I mean, obviously, it was a while ago. You look good. I mean, to imply otherwise, but did you think she'd look like this?
I didn't know.
Me
never
neither.
knew
I
what to
wasn't
expect,
sure.
because this was 20 years ago.
Man,
that this epic vault happened. So first of all, welcome to
Well, thank
Tiki
you
and
for
Tierney.
having me. Yeah, it's been 2 decades. I was just 18 at the time, so it's been longer now than I was old in the 96 Games.
wow.
And I think with the Olympics, people tend to just freeze you in time, so they
I
don't
think you're right.
realize.
I think that's what I meant.
I think
That's a good point.
You kind of see an image,
Yeah.
and that's the image that you see all the time, right? They don't show
Exactly.
you 5 years later or 10 years later. You see the same image of you going over the vault after on your second attempt and nailing it on one leg. When you think back about that moment, and it's defined you, right? Is that something that you embrace, that being defined by that, even though you've accomplished a lot in your life, including, most importantly, and I have 6 kids, almost 6 kids. BT's about to have his second one. You have 2 kids. So there's other things in your life that have become probably more important than this. But this is what people think about when they think about you.
Definitely. I think most people identify me with that Olympic moment. It was clearly one of the highlights of my life. It's something I'm very proud of. I think it speaks a lot of who I am, that when I fell down, I literally and figuratively got back up, that I put put my teammates in front of myself. Those are qualities that are really important and that I'm proud of. But that was at 18. I had a lot more life to live. Now my focus are my children. The bond that I have with them is magical, and that's really where my priorities lie, and definitely they're the highlight of my life now.
You also have a degree from Stanford, which is not a small achievement either. And Tiki and I get into these conversations quite a bit, and as he said, I have my second one coming. T's got 5. Somehow he's got number 6 coming, which is good luck with that, partner.
Hey, man.
I hear you. But the way young kids are not only raised but exposed to sports, it's very different when we were growing up. It seems much more controlled. It seems in certain situations force-fed or not enough. It just seems like it's changed a lot. When you were because you were such a specialized athlete, what was your childhood like when you were like 8, 9, 10? Did you have a normal, I put quotes around that, a normal life, a normal day-to-day existence, or was it always a grind and chasing the Olympic dream?
Well, I think for me it was normal. I had a passion. I loved the sport of gymnastics, and I wanted to do whatever it took to be the best. So 8, 9, it was pretty normal. I went to gymnastics every day after school. But around age 11, 12, and particularly a month before my 13th birthday, it changed drastically because I moved away from my parents to train with Bella and Marta Caroli in Houston, Texas. And that was a huge sacrifice. I'm extremely close to my family, and don't think I could have done it without their love and support. And I'm lucky that I'm the baby of the family, so my siblings were in college and my mom could come visit me frequently, and that definitely assisted with my training process. But, gymnastics, the window of opportunity is so short. I didn't want to look back and say, if I had only tried a little harder, or if I had only trained with this coach, maybe my Olympic dream would have been fulfilled. I wanted to make sure that there was, no second guessing, no doubts, and obviously it all worked out for me. Clearly, there's plenty of athletes that make that commitment and train just as long and hard and don't get Olympic gold, but hopefully they have those character traits that they learn through their athletic career that make them a better person and advance them in their academics and whatever career they pursue, because they know about time management, they know about commitment, they know about perseverance. And those are qualities you can't be taught unless you live through them and you grow as a person. And of course, as a child, I didn't realize that. I just wanted to go to the Olympics. But now that I'm a mother, I look at things very differently, and I'm so thankful for all that I learned through my athletic career.
The great Kerri Strug is a trait. She's with us in the studio talking about the Olympics and a multitude of things. 96 gold medal, of course.
Yeah, no, I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I'm trying to think if I would be okay with my kids leaving, going across the country to train with someone who I maybe have just met. You have a 4-year-old. If your 4-year-old gets into gymnastics, it's a boy. If he gets into gymnastics, can you see 8 years from now saying, peace out, good luck?
She's already shaking her head no.
No, I'm
Mama not
a
gonna let
very
go.
overprotective mother. So I don't like being away for them for just a couple days. So I can't imagine, him moving away. But at the same point, my parents keep telling me the best gift I can give my children is independence, and so I remind myself of that. But I think in theory and practice are very different things. But my mom was extremely close to me, and I think it was the ultimate sacrifice for her to say, okay, this is what she wants, I have to support her. And so I'm hoping in the years to come, if needed, I will be able to do the same. um, as I stated, I mean, they're very young, but the bond I have with my kids is really special, and I want to be there and see them and protect them, but I know that's probably not the best thing because they're going to have to make choices.
See, I
for
find this
themselves.
interesting. You guys are finding ways to hold on to your kids. My parents were finding ways to get rid of me at that age. They literally were investigating military schools to ship me off to.
Yeah, that tells you
I'm
a
not
lot.
kidding.
That's because your sister was the good one.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but I always find it incredibly fascinating how an athlete, an elite athlete, compartmentalizes pain. And you had multiple,
Ligaments, yeah,
ligament ruptures or strains. Right before you did what you did, what were you thinking? I mean, can you bring us back into your mind at that moment?
Well, I think as any athlete knows, pain is part of the game. I mean, something is always hurting, whether it's, a little nagging injury here or there or something more serious. When you're training at the highest level, day in and day out, it's just inevitable that things are going to hurt. So,
But not like that. Isn't that the difference
that's
between
correct.
being
But
hurt
I
and
think
injured?
those
You were in a cast on the
smaller
podium.
I mean, you
problems.
weren't hurt. You were injured.
Yes,
Big
that was
difference.
a different situation than usual, but I think all those times of having to perform the vault when I was tired or when something was hurting enabled me to, in that dire situation on the Olympic podium, my teammates had done their part. I had to do mine, say, okay, I'm injured, but I gotta do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just kind of go on automatic pilot. And for all those times that I really disliked my coach, Bella Caroli, for pushing me past that point I thought I could go, believe me, now I'm so thankful. And I have a totally different perspective because I'm convinced that his training tactics that maybe I didn't agree with at the time, although I did because I stayed with him and I knew he was the best, but I oftentimes would question. Looking back, I don't question them. I'm just so happy that he made me always go that extra mile because I think it truly paid off when I needed it most.
When you dream at night, do you ever see this happening again? That vault, hitting the vault, the horse flipping over, landing, and something else happening. Do you ever see it? Because I know this from being a professional athlete. Sometimes I'll just relive moments, and they feel slow, and I often say, God, how did I do that? Does that ever happen to you?
Well, oftentimes now I look back and say, wow, how was I able to do that? At the time, it was expected. That's all that was okay. Anything less would not have been okay. But now that I'm a mother and, time has passed, I see the vault in a very different light.
I know you guys were younger than, say, the U.S. women's soccer team or the hockey players, so maybe you wouldn't have been engaged in social media if it was around back then. But do you think you would have used that as a vehicle? I mean, do you like it now? What do you think about for your children moving forward? I mean, just your thoughts on social media. A lot of athletes use it. Some get burned by it.
Well, I think it's definitely changed the game. For some of those athletes that maybe don't get the attention that they would need or like, it's a great outlet for them. I do think it has its pros and cons like anything in life. And my children are just so young that we're not involved with that right now.
You got about 2 years. Trust me. My young kids were like, can I have a phone? I need a cell phone. I need a Instagram account.
Yeah, you gave it to them.
I did.
Oh, come on.
I'm a stupid dad. That's why.
Kerri Strug is with us here. So I know you have something going on for Mother's Day, and without moms, there's no family. Let's be honest. Moms are the best.
Jared the Galleria and the new Miracle Links. Tell us what you have going on with them.
Okay, well, yes, I'm here on behalf of Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry, to help celebrate moms and help everyone find that perfect Mother's Day gift. I hope all of you know it's coming up on Sunday.
Absolutely.
And clearly, I've just on this show talked a lot about my children. They're everything to me. And it's great to have a symbol and to have a conversation starter, per se, all women like jewelry, or pretty much all women like jewelry, especially beautiful things. So the Miracle Links collection is not only beautiful but extremely meaningful. It has interlinking circles. So the large circle is for the mother, and then the smaller circle is for the child or children. You can add additional links as your family grows.
And then the invisible link is for the dad who gets the short end of the stick with everything. I'm just kidding.
The dad is the chain. The dad is the chain.
Good call, Tiki. Dad is the chain.
Well, I'm just thinking about that. I got to hit like 5 of those. Actually, probably 4 and 2 because I'm divorced.
That's
so
pretty.
4 and 2.
That looks really nice.
Yeah, I think they're beautiful, and I think any mother would, really love it because it symbolizes the bond that they have with their children. And I know for me, you asked about them, but they're really the focus of my life, and I love talking about them. But sometimes it's not so polite. So if somebody asks me, what this beautiful pendant is about, then I feel like I have a free pass to talk about Tyler and Elena. So it's important, to thank our moms for all the wonderful work they do with our youth. And hopefully everybody will take a look at their local Jared retailer or go to jared.com and check out their new Miracle Links collection.
And not only go to Jared, but also, and I said this on the show yesterday, when I was 12, I was coming back from a baseball doubleheader. And for some reason, I'm really close with my mom. She's coming over today. I can't wait to see her. Really close. Well, actually, a little bit of a mama's boy, which is probably hard for Tiki to believe, but I really was when I was young. And I forgot to get her a card. I was just, engrossed in my world. I was 12 and started, like girls and play baseball, whatever. And I saw a tear, and I learned. So never forget the card, though. So go to the store and get that. But write a few words and make sure you get your mom a card because it's imperative that you do. The words are as important as the jewelry. So I just want to slip that in there.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing
Karen.
you.
Well, thanks for having me.
You got it. Kerri Strug here. Let's give her. Come on, this is Olympic. This is rarefied air here, man. Let's get the applause up there, Barbara.
I love
Come
the
on.
moment. I love the moment. Someone who excels in the moment, I appreciate. So thank you for joining us. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's one of those great, and I remember it because she's the
Now,
same
how
age
tall
as
are you,
us.
by the way, officially?
I have not grown at all in height whatsoever, so I'm about 4'9.5". I say 4'10", but it doesn't matter. When you say 4, nobody listens. It doesn't matter if you're
Well, they do when
4'1"
you
or
have Olympic
4'11",
gold.
Yeah.
How tall is your husband?
About 5'11".
All right, so they won't be playing for the Knicks or the,
No,
or
my
the Phoenix
son
Suns.